Hi guys, it's Arabella. I hope you're living your best life when this video finds you. So today I'm going to talk about what initially seems like a really complex issue that I'm going to simplify for you. So it's about how to craft your main character's arc throughout a trilogy. So that's 3 books. I'm sure you knew that. And I mean, I've always had a goal of writing a trilogy. My book has always been number 1 of 3, and it always used to like boggle my mind a little bit how I was gonna get her arc to flow through that, because you know, when they say you're writing a trilogy, book 1 is so important because it does have to be a standalone in many ways. You do have to tie a lot of those ends together, even though you're leaving some open, because I mean, it just happens. Sometimes you don't get to make the other 2 books. So you have to make book 1 complete enough, but on the other hand, open enough at the same time. So when we're thinking about our character's arc, which is the change that they make internally, from either running from pain, a misbelief, a twisted worldview, or a twisted view of themselves, whatever that is, it has to be done in a way that there's some change in book 1, because people don't find stories satisfying, books, movies, whatever, unless the character changes. It's just this thing that a lot of people need in storytelling. So you have to complete that in book 1, but you also have to carry it over in book 2 and 3. So I have a little simple way to fix that for you. So, first off, you really have to do some deep diving into your main character. I mean, psychology is really important, and a lot of my other videos are going to kind of talk about that, but you can always go over to my blog and read my Protagonist series. There's a part 1 and a part 2, and I'll link it down below for you. It really analyzes in depth how to make a wonderful protagonist, and how all their internal issues and misbeliefs and their backstory, all of it will prime you to then do this. So I really recommend you checking the Protagonist series out on the blog. So go look at that, and it'll give you a more detailed look at that. But basically, you know, a character arc is something where you have your main character and they have some type of issue, and this issue is screwing up their view of things. It's going to definitely interfere with the story goal and all of that, and they need to change from it at the end of the story. So in book 1, you're gonna see your character kind of unleash all of these issues that they have from their past and whatnot, how they got to be the way they are. So as you go through the book, you're gonna show your audience these issues. You know, you're gonna have your big daddy, the issue that is holding them back the most and causing the most turmoil for them inwardly and outwardly. That's not the one you're going to solve in book 1. In book 1, you're going to find the second biggest issue. It's going to be related in some way, I'm sure. However you craft that, that's up to you. But it's not going to be the big change, but it's going to be a decent change. The story and their choices, it's going to lead them to making some type of big change, and that's great. So what that's going to do is it's going to hit 2 birds with 1 stone. You're going to be able to give your audience that change that they really want, and you're going to have your character grow, but you still have a little bit more cookies in the cookie jar, right? So do that for book 1. In book 2, it hurts so much, but you really have to let your main character fall from grace. This is, I don't know if everyone else does this, but this is my personal opinion, and what I love the most in trilogies is when the main character just fucks, I'm sorry, I'm trying not to say that word so much. They totally mess everything up. The issues are gonna claw back, and all the work they did in book 1, they're gonna mess it up even more in book 2, and they're just going to make terrible choices, and it's going to send them way back. You know, 2 steps forward, 20 steps back. You are going to throw them into a mess in their character arc, and they're going to take a deep dive because of this. And I personally love this at the very end of it, because your audience knows book 3 is coming, and they're just like, why? You know, you've got to let oh, it's gonna kill them. That's what you want. Like, you want them to be like, no shit, how could they do this? Like, they grew so much and then they just messed it all up. Okay, so you're then setting up book 3 for the big transformation. This was that big issue that you didn't quite get them to solve in book 1. They eventually get there at the end of book 3. You know, and don't make this easy. This needs to be a struggle. They need to be climbing up, like clawing their way out of this hole they just dug for themselves. And it's going to be even harder. But towards the end, in the final confrontation with whatever the antagonist is, they have to see the light right here. Like a little baby right there. They have to see the light and get it. Finally, they make the change. The change has been made. They get it. They're fully in, and then they face the antagonist. And that realization, that growth, is what is the last bit that they need to beat the antagonist. You understand? So it's super important to. I think it's to set it up this way. That's how I'm doing it in my novel. Ah, shit. Did I just ruin it? But seriously, it's super easy. Like, I think it's just a super easy method. Like, you can get into more detail of it, but if it's just a good baseline to have, right? It's a good way to just kind of get a general, you know, if you're a plotter or a pantser or a mix of the two, it's good to at least kind of know where you're going with the character's arc, because it's, in my opinion, it's one of the most important things about storytelling. We're all humans. We all want to read about the struggles and the hems and the ha's and the, you know, that's why we like story, because it shows the change. It inspires people to change. So this was a short one this time, but I hope that it helps you out. Yes, join the army below. Check out some of my other videos. Definitely subscribe. Check out the blog and my Instagram and my Twitter. Okay, love you guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.